What's up, guys? Welcome to a brand new episode of the Spit It Out podcast. I'm your host, Ramazan, together with my co host, Yasir
Yo, yo, yo.
and Aman.
What's up?
After a very long break, we're back together. We'll be talking about games, tech, stuff, and much more. On today's episode, we have the Xbox partner review and our Crimson Desert review. Like, mostly mine and Yasser's Crimson Desert review. But yeah, first of all, the Xbox partner preview. So, guys, I should say take on the stage.
Go ahead, man.
In March, there was a Xbox partner preview where they showcased a lot of games coming up for Xbox. Yasser and I watched it live, and lots of exciting stuff to see there. For me personally, there was a lot of different types of games that were shown off. The game that I thought was the most interesting to look at was Grave Seasons, which is a top-down pixel art game, which has farming stuff. It kind of reminded me of Stardew Valley, which I thought was interesting. And it's a game that launches on August 14th. A game that was maybe interesting for other people, but I did not like at all, was Serious Sam Shadowverse. I think this could be a lot of hype for a lot of people out there, but I think comedy shooters, like PvE shooters, we have quite a lot of those. I feel like we don't need more of them, but hey, maybe some people out there will find this exciting. I guess for console players, there's less variety. So to have something like this on Xbox would be great. Because in terms of PC gaming, at least, there's so many of these games. We definitely don't need more. But I guess that's hype for Xbox players. Looking through the list. There was the announcement that Dispatch, my number 4 game of last year, and I think also Yassir's number 4 game of last year.
I think so as well, yeah.
Dispatch is coming to Xbox, which is exciting because that means a lot more people are going to be able to enjoy this game because we love this game and definitely need more people to play it.
I believe as well Xbox Game Pass.
Oh yeah, so it's going to be available for way more people.
No, not Game Pass. I see it.
Oh.
Summer 2026 coming for all the Xbox platform. It has the Play Anywhere tag, so you can just use one Xbox account, and play it anywhere.
Yeah. This one was exciting. Bluey's Happy Snaps.
God.
I loved.
Oh, God.
I can't say it with a straight face.
Good. I'm not gonna skip to that segment.
There was also Hades 2. I gotta represent
Hades 2.
my indies. Hades 2 is coming to Xbox as well, and also has an Xbox Game Pass launch, which is amazing. I personally played Hades. I did not enjoy it, so I will definitely also not be playing Hades 2, which is a shame because I know there's a lot of love out there for it. But I guess that's just how it is. I just did not enjoy the gameplay, which I just find unfortunate. But I guess for a lot of people out there, it's going to be very exciting that Hades is coming to Xbox, or Hades 2, I should say. So yeah, those were the highlights for me. A lot of the other games looked kind of interesting, but which is not for me. I did not really like most of these games. So overall, I would say this preview was a 2-star for me. Nothing really exciting for me, at least. Some things were slightly interesting, but maybe I set the bar too high for myself.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was my thoughts on the Xbox partner preview. What about you, Yasir?
I also gotta agree that it was kind of lackluster / disappointing. I didn't come in with high expectations. This was a partner preview, so I was like, okay, Stranger Than Heaven, Expanse, the Expanse, Osiris Reborn, and Stalker 2 were already pre-announced that they would have something to show. I was very much looking forward to all three of them, and then obviously the hidden games that they didn't reveal ahead of time, but it didn't really have that much for me. I did say occasionally when we watched it live, oh, this is interesting, but I also instantly followed it up with, I kind of need another trailer to get convinced by if I really want to give it a shot. My highlights were, and my biggest highlight, to be honest, were The Expanse, Osiris Reborn. I've been very much looking forward to this game. It's like it's basically Owlcat's first AAA-esque game, heavily inspired by Mass Effect and kind of styled, gameplay-wise, styled like Mass Effect. So I'm very much looking forward to it. It has a spring 2027 release, which is far away, but not that far. I'm very happy to have it finally arrive early on next year. I kind of am not vibing with the UI. It's a bit too minimalistic for me. I kind of see what they're going for, since The Expanse is very grounded / minimalistic, I would say. But I think we can still style it up a bit more and still fit the Expanse style. Followed up with Stranger Than Heaven, but this was disappointing because they're hyping it up, pre-announcing it, and then we get to see gameplay, we get to see a bit more of the vibe RGG is going for with this game, but then it kind of ends with but on May 6th we have a deeper deep dive. So kind of an announcement for an announcement in an event, announcing for another event, And I was like, I didn't really vibe with that. But from what we saw, I mean, it's RGG coded, nothing really impressive other than that the setting is more unique. Since we're playing in 5 different eras, I believe, of Japan. I would say, I wanted to say Tokyo, but I'm not pretty sure on that. We do know Kamurocho will be back, so I'm looking forward to an even older Kamurocho than we had in Yakuza 0. But other than that, really those two that I've been looking forward to. Stalker 2 had a DLC announcement. That convinced me to play the game again. I didn't continue with the game since the PC I had issues running it. It was very CPU demanding when I didn't have really a CPU that could match on the resolution that I was playing. But now with the DLC, and I know they have done many patches, I want to give it a try. But the DLC is already coming out this summer. So I don't know if I'm going to be playing the DLC anytime soon. Other than that, again, nothing really. Super Meat Boy 3D didn't do much for me. Alien Deathstorm looked interesting. It kind of gave Isolation-esque vibes, but it also didn't really do much for me. And we had at the end a I don't know if it's gonna be an action or if it's gonna be a Souls-like near the end. I mean, but it's called Musa, and it looked interesting. It kind of gave me vibes from other games like Neo, from to be honest, Phantom Blade Zero a little bit, but it's more grounded. Kind of also I could see it also be close to Dynasty Warrior Origins, but I want a deeper deep dive in the gameplay. They chose some nice shots, but not enough to convince me. Just slightly intrigued. And then we ended it off with a detective game. It looked interesting. I mean,
Artificial Detective.
Artificial Detective coming next year. I need to see more. It's Play Anywhere, but I need to see more, and that's kind of the showcase. For me, it was as well 2 out of 5 stars. Really wished, like, a lot of these games could have benefited from maybe a different / better trailer. And the showcase could have benefited more if, like, the pacing was not the issue, but just how they set it up. I wouldn't have ended it with Artificial Detective, me personally, and I would have actually started with Stranger Than Heaven if you already knew that you would just kind of tease another deep dive, just to get that out of the way. But yeah, that was the Xbox partner preview.
All right, and then moving on to the Crimson Desert review. Like, unfortunately, only me and Yasser played it, so
Yeah, I'm
sadly,
not
Aman
interested
didn't.
in this kind of game.
Yeah, but yeah, with me taking on the lead, I'm still enjoying the game. Of course, I had my issues with it, with some of the issues, the controls, which are now somewhat fixed. I'm still pissed at my lost bounty.
Mhm.
So for the ones that didn't know, like, for some reason the game glitch with when I played. If you drop a wanted person, and yeah, in my case it dropped right on a cliff, so I couldn't do anything. So yeah, I just slayed him.
Mhm.
Unfortunately, that was 21 of 24 silvers gone. Very sad, but yeah, other than that, I still enjoy a lot. I know that Yasser is already much further into the main quest than I am. I am really, when it comes to these games and ADHD, like, I get distracted from the even slightest thing. So yeah, I'm exploring a lot. But yeah, for me, I would say it's nice to, like, graphics wise, it just looks amazing. I like how they did it with the abyss, like the other dimensions, and with the, I think now they also fixed some of the travel issues, uh, that made the teleport faster and also the flying less consuming. I also heard they have now permanent mounts, which was first an issue because they didn't have permanent mounts for specific riders. Yeah, all in all, it's a cool game. I think the thing we both had is that it doesn't have a main story, sort of ish. Like, I'm less annoyed by it. I know that Yasser is pretty much annoyed by it.
Mhm.
Like, I kind of see it as a D&D world at this point. Like, you're just the main character in a medieval world, so you're, like, doing a lot of quests, and, like, I kind of see it as if you were defeated, so you're now doing a building back up your community through getting the favors of the lords at that region. While I think ultimately, of course, I haven't finished the story, so I cannot tell, like, how it really ends, even if I wanted to. So with that, I'm spoiler proof. But yeah, I think ultimately uh, the main goal is getting revenge on the bears. So for me, I think it's a 3 out of 5 stars
Hmm.
at this point. I do very much like it. I already said to both of these guys, like, if this continues on, it might like pretty much pass Baldur's Gate for me on the skill.
As a side
So,
note, what was your rating for Baldur's Gate?
Isn't that still pending?
Yeah. I think, as far as I know, I haven't given any rating for it.
Okay.
I just know that it's like it was in my top 5 though. So, but yeah, I haven't given it a real rating, so to speak. So, one thing I can say, it won't, like, for those diehard Crimson Desert fans, it won't get my top review. Like, Hogwarts Legacy will still be my number 1 at this point.
Mhm.
But yeah, otherwise than that, I really like it. I like the mini bosses, the mini games you can do. Like, it isn't that you don't have anything to do in the world. I think one of the main problems I'm currently having is that you actually have a lot to do in the world. Like, sometimes for me it's a bit overwhelming that I still need to do a lot of progression in the game with the main story, while as I'm like, one time I'm hunting for a cat, the other time I'm hunting for criminals. But like, I think it's also pretty important to continue on with the story, which, like I said, I don't do that much. So yeah, in that sense, I'm working on it still. Yeah, other than that, it's still like a fun game.
Like it does
Yeah.
enough for you, you would say. Because from the sound of it, you're very much enjoying your time, and knowing that the PR dev has stated it's a medieval action sandbox game means like, oh, you're doing exactly what you would expect in a sandbox game. You're doing a lot of the side quests, random stuff. Randomly, you're hunting a criminal. Randomly, you're chasing a cat, like you said. So, would you say that it is very fulfilling whenever you play it?
Um, in the sense of fulfilling, let me see. Yeah, like, I think you and me both think different about this question. Like, in the sense of fulfilling, I'm most of the time hunting for different treasures. Like, it then, in that sense, is it fulfilling for me? Yeah, kinda. Other sense, it still does lead the like a main story ish. Like, you don't actually have something that builds on, but rather than your reputation that you build on. So I think that's maybe a hint, but I think, yeah, that it does the job what the developers were intended to do. I do have to say, it is maybe a medieval sandbox game, but I would pretty much like emphasize the fantasy medieval, especially the fantasy part, because I think I'm right at the point of the story where, like, I'm like, I don't know, these things, as far as I know, haven't, like, weren't a thing in the medieval century.
Yeah, medieval fantasy sandbox. Yeah.
Yeah. So, like, I mean, those are also things that weren't even like in our current technology. So, in that sense, is it a bit? It is very much fantasy heavy, but yeah, I do have a very good time with it. Actually, a too good time with it. Like, my original intention, like I discussed with you, was to at least play 10 hours in it,
Yeah, you exceeded it.
which currently already passed 20 hours. And
Mm.
to put it to skill for everyone, I'm still at the beginning of chapter 4, while as Yasser has played it less than me and is already like 2 chapters ahead. Or 3
One,
chapters, maybe.
one.
One?
I'm in chapter 5.
Oh, okay. All right, 1 chapter ahead. So
No.
in that sense, like, yeah, but that's what I mean. Like, you have a lot to do,
Mm,
and it's still nice, you know. Um, so yeah, I like I cannot talk about the late game at this point because like I'm still, I think, not at the early game stage anymore. Ish.
kind of still. But the game has around 14 chapters.
So yeah, let's say I'm at the end of the early stage.
Mm.
So yeah, I'm starting to approach the mid stage.
Mm.
But yeah, at this point, I think there is a story plot, although it's not very distinctive like some other games. But yeah, it does its job. At this point, for now my rating is 3 out of 5 stars.
And it could get higher.
Yeah, of course. Like it depends. But it also can get lower.
Hmm. What would he
Like
need to do for it to go lower?
uh, if they actually fuck up, like I cannot say it right now because that's spoiler heavy. Like I know some of the things that might come, or suspect that they might come. If those things are like I said, with they fixed the permanent mount. They've added permanent mounts. What I heard was that early on they had for certain mounts that you could only ride it for a certain amount of time.
Mm.
And as players had a complaint about it, they now fixed it. Which I, by the way, also like about this studio is the fact that they don't patch up the mistakes that the gamers actually like. I don't know if you know about it. Like they have, some gamers have found a glitch in the game where if you have a spear and you fly up using your uh, magical force and then spear in the air, it actually allows you to fly.
Mm.
And what most of the developers would do is patch it up, you know.
Yeah.
What they have done is actually animated it because they saw how much the players actually liked this glitch. So you can literally now do the glitch as if it was always doable,
That's neat.
as it was the intention with it. So
Yeah.
in that point of view, like that's one of those reasons that gets the stars up. You know, like yeah, in general, like I think you can already guess that the stars will go up
Mm.
again. Like they really need to mess some things like pretty good if they don't deserve any higher stars. But
What if they added smartphones to the game? Would your stars go up?
nah, nah, nah. I think I don't need to tell you that then my stars won't go up, man. Like, come on.
Yeah.
Like
Well,
that's one of those things. Like, why?
by the sounds of it, you really enjoy the immersion of the game and
Yeah,
being able to set your own goals rather than the game setting your goals for you.
exactly. I think that's like, well, I kind of forgot the words about it. Like I'm like in the midst of studying and doing all kinds of shit, so my brain is a bit fucked up right now. But yeah, actually, that I sometimes
Interesting.
hate for some games that they have like fixed that you can't make your own choices. Like it's a progress story. It's also sometimes fun to play, but yeah,
But you like the freedom more of making the choices yourself.
Yeah, of course.
He doesn't like being railroaded.
For me, I didn't really like the game in the beginning. First 10 hours of my playthrough, it has also to do with I expected an RPG and not a medieval fantasy action sandbox. And thus, like for the first 10 hours, I was kind of looking at this game as an RPG, and it doesn't really have a main story. It just has a story that kind of resembles a progression. Like, oh, there's things changing in the world, oh, it's moving on, but neither is it really interesting since it doesn't really delve into anything deep. If you want to delve deep, it forces you to just basically read the lore and try and piece the puzzles together. Like, for example, I still don't know why we had a fight with the bears. I think it was a territorial dispute / there an uprising of the sorts, but I like before I knew it, I just woke up next to the river and I was just going on about my day. And it's in that sense a true sandbox. Like, it's comparable to Red Dead Redemption 2 and Skyrim, which for Skyrim I would say less so of a good main story, also just something to really progress, where the side quests in my opinion were very much the highlight, and Red Dead Redemption 2 where it was pretty much had a great main story to tell and had great side quests to follow. But with Crimson Desert, it's, to be honest, the best part about Crimson Desert is the exploration and combat. And I'm more of a combat person than a exploration. I really like exploration, but nothing so far in Crimson Desert has urged me to try and explore, unless it revolves around a side quest or if a side quest asks, or a treasure hunt asks me to go there. So after realizing, okay, it's a medieval fantasy action sandbox, I looked at it differently, and yes, the action is actioning. Like, every boss fight I've faced so far did entertain me, except for one I very much dislike. I think chapters 4 final boss fight, very much hated, very clunky, very like it just very it irked me. Like, I hate it so much. And even though I've faced a flower in Elden Ring Shadow of the Urchin and thought I would hate that boss fight the most, and this one easily trumped it with how annoying it is. I didn't even feel satisfied beating it. I just, not even relieved, I was just annoyed. I just wanted to go on about my day after it. But it is very neat. Again, I only have 20 hours in my opinion. I also don't have much to add, but I also feel like there's also not, like, this is one of the few big games where I did not feel the urge to try and be at end game before the review. Like, I already told Aman about it when I was live streaming the game a couple of times. I just feel like if I go a bit too long in a session, I would get very much annoyed and bored. That I don't really have with, let's say, an RPG like Final Fantasy or anything else, because I care about story, and this game side stories don't interest me much. Mostly it starts off with something fun, like knowing the characters a bit more and know again, but then it ends kind of abruptly, like you've done it. No, like, clear sequence. Sometimes they add up to each other, sometimes not. Sometimes I'm just like, why are we doing this? And then just like, we're doing it for the sake of doing it. And I don't really vibe with that. I kind of prefer, like, especially in these settings, because I was very much interested in the world, I kind of wanted more out of the main story, more out of the side story. So I am disappointed that I am not interested at all. I saw online and consensus about the story, and again, if it's a sandbox game, then it doesn't need to. You would be kind of wrong for trying to rate it because of its story, and thus I do very much like the action, and that's the only thing that is not boring. I don't like the enemy variety. I'm 20 hours in. I barely faced anything other than humans. You could say I'm not exploring enough. Or, well, okay, one boss fight it wasn't really human, but still humanoid-esque. You could say I'm not exploring enough, because I do know there are some hidden creature bosses throughout the world, but most of the stuff just keeps me in Hernant, and I do now have like quests that are asking me to go further north to Pyloon, where the gang is from, and whatnot, and traveling sucked in the beginning, but they also fixed it by frequent updates, like flying takes less stamina. Before that, it drains so quickly. You're like, before you know, you're just free diving again, and then just pressing A again just to like slowly descend back down. But they fixed that. It's now more enjoyable to travel, especially if you're gonna just jump from one of the sky islands to make the distance shorter. I do know some late game mounts will make it even more fun traveling the world, but as far as I see it, I just see some quest markers at the end of the map, and I'm like, okay, I don't really want to run with my horse all the way over there. Since it's a very big world, I will say, like, I thought people said co-op or multiplayer will be added to the game. It has the size to support it, not a full-blown MMO, but for a 2 to 4 player co-op, I could see it. I think that would also bring in more fun, since it's sandbox. It's like a sandbox game, so you can just do wacky stuff together with friends. But so far, not much for me, sadly. I like the soundtracks that I've heard so far. I don't know if there's gonna be more coming. I like the customization of the character. I hate the playable characters. Not because I hate something about them, more because, well, I unlocked a character in Chapter 3, and there was no quests or anything that was like, oh, let's play as that character. I'm now in Chapter 5. I believe now I will actually get quests relating to that character that, if you didn't know, quests are based on the character. Like, for example, Cliff, the main character, I would say, that you start the game off. Like, I remember switching to that character when I got them in Chapter 3, and I wanted to do a quest with them, and it said it's Cliff's story. Switch to Cliff. And I was like, okay, but why are they already playable if the things that I like to do, because those quests give me the chance to fight people more and actually get boss fights, why can't I try it with this new character? Because they differentiated the skills between, I believe it's 3 playable characters, Cliff and then 2 others, and they all each have like it's kind of still similar, but difference in like even the grappling. Like, the second character has like already different styles of grappling compared to Cliff. And yeah, again, I can just gush about the combat constantly. They fixed the controls. Updates are one of the things I want to praise them for. They're very quick in fixing the game. Hence why the later 10 hours in my 20-hour playthrough so far were more enjoyable, because a lot of the things that irked me about, let's say, the controls or the traveling or how items work, storage, etc., were already being fixed, like in the weeks that I've been playing it, and they're not even slowing down. I believe there's another probably big update coming around later this week. Let's see what that brings to the table. And like you said, Ramazan, the players find a kind of buggy move. It works, it's fun, it adds to the sandbox, and instead of punishing us by removing it or patching it, they just added it as an official move, as if it was planned from the get-go. So they do get praise from me for the things that I very much liked. But if you ask me, would I recommend this game? I would recommend it if you like Skyrim / Red Dead Redemption 2 for their sandboxes. And if you like combat and you don't need a good story or don't need a story at all, just you want to smack things around, like this game lets you RKO people. I mean, that's enough to sell me on playing, at least for the combat. Then I would recommend it. But if you're an RPG gamer, like you care about the story, you care about why things are happening, why, how, and the whys, I wouldn't recommend it. So it's kind of like a mixed bag for me, because on one hand, one spectrum of my being likes this game, and the other, I don't really like this game. So for me, it's kind of hovering between 2 out of 5 stars, 3 out of 5 stars, with the limit being 3 out of 5 stars. I don't expect to give it like 4 or 5, even if the late game impresses me much more. Like, let's say I'm fighting nonstop, because even though the combat is great, I still had like Ninja Gaiden for example, where the combat peaked. So that's why, like, I would rather play a game that has decent combat but a great story than a game that has great combat but no story, especially if it feels like an RPG.
This game kinda gave me the vibes of like GTA.
Yeah, with the character switching as well.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Like, I'm now thinking about it. Like, it's basically like for people that like GTA and like a bit the medieval stuff. Like, it is a perfect game because it's, in my opinion, it's actually pretty much the same thing. You have like some side quests. It's like GTA, but then in the medieval setting with fantasy involved.
And you're a good guy.
Hmm?
Sprinkle of sci-fi and you're a good guy.
Mm.
Well, that's the thing. Like, this game really punishes you a lot if you don't, if you are not, if you're breaking the laws. Like, again, it's literally like GTA. If you, for instance, I mean, randomly hurt a civilian, like how in GTA you get police, here you have the knights of that specific kingdom, like, really chasing you. You really get a bounty on your head. Like, I've had a lot of bounties. I've had a fine because I damaged too much of the properties. So the lord of that region gave me a fine, which you then can actually just go to the church and pay it.
Mm.
And but for instance, I had like one issue, like that was my major issue also with the controls, where I needed to lift something up, but accidentally, because it didn't lift up, I misclicked and actually shot a civilian with the arrow. Bam, was just clean right in the head. It was an impressive shot, but yeah, like for us in that case, you just go straight back into jail, and as GTA, you just get released in front of it with, like, of course, you get like deducted some coins. So yeah, like you were talking about it, like it just clicked. It's like, oh yeah, it's actually basically just GTA, but then medieval fantasy, sci-fi.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard Yasir say that it's very apparent that there's a lot of Rockstar game influence,
Mm-hmm.
like
Yeah.
GTA and
I think that
Red Dead Redemption.
may be the thing. Like, I'm someone that loves GTA. Like, I mean, to be fair, GTA doesn't have much of a story.
I mean, I wouldn't say that.
It really depends.
Nah,
Does
but
have a heavy main quest.
yeah, but precisely. But so is Crimson Desert. Like, it kind of felt like Yasa was saying, like, there are no stories at all. Like, there are some stories, but there isn't pretty much like a big story, like from chapter 1 to chapter 14. It's like you're actually doing, like how I see it, you're actually doing like tasks within that region and solving some weird ancient stuff, which for some kind of power, but with the main goal of re-establishing their tribe again, and eventually, I think, getting revenge. So there is a main storyline in that sense. It's just not written like they don't say like revenge on the tribe, or I think they have actually a chapter like called a new beginning, like where you really get to the camp and start rebuilding actually a main establishment, all because actually you do uh pretty big quests like with the story, so the lords there praise you for it and give you more land. But yeah, like just like it literally just came to my mind right now, like it actually is just GTA, because for me it's literally this, if you think about it right now, like I don't think GTA has a real story either.
Debatable.
I very heartily disagree with that statement.
Bro,
I would
do you
say
think GTA 5 has a main story?
Yes.
yes. It has more of a main story than Crimson Desert has. Actually, the fact that it has a main story is why, and how the main story plays is why I dislike that GTA the most out of all of them. Because it has a main story, but it's half baked. Because it's trying to juggle between three characters, each kind of interesting in their own way, but not enough depth for them to be as loved as a Nico Bellic or a CJ. Which I cannot say the same for Cliff, because for him, yeah, sure, you named, oh, we're rebuilding a camp, we're gonna go back, we're gonna reclaim our land, but I wouldn't say that qualifies to say like, oh, this game has a proper main story, when every beat in between is kind of like, oh, you don't know this, we'll not really explain, it just happens. You know, the same with the camp. I'm shocked because the way we do things, I kind of feel like we're being guided by White Crow slash Aliston, the two gods, you could probably say, of that universe, or they're marked as four special beings, which I found out by reading the lore when the character codex appeared. So I didn't even get that from just them being around. I thought they were wizards, but now I know they're like one of they're two of four beings, which I
They're like
didn't read.
deities, or
I mean, they said beings, so I don't know if they want to say like deities, but don't want to say deities. But I mean, just because it's giving us a progression doesn't mean that it's like has a proper story. Like it has the cutscenes that it feels like a story, but at best I would say it has a light story. And then sure, you can say it's structured the same way as GTA. I kind of agree with that. With the way the cutscenes, like how you enter a cutscene, how the cutscene plays out, it's GTA-esque, but again, San Andreas really has a story. GTA 4 really has a story. Vice City has a story. GTA 5 has a half-baked story, which is why I dislike it more, because that's when the sandbox takes over more than having both a great sandbox and a great story.
but like for instance, this could be a thing, like if there ever comes a Crimson Desert 2, or like I don't know if maybe it won't be a Crimson Desert, but it would be a Hernand. Like just because like it's in the same region, for instance. Like if they make that game more story driven than this game and less sandbox, would you still say like I'll play it?
I'll give it a try, but I wouldn't, like, it depends if they perfect it where you have a great story and great main story slash side quest and a great sandbox that this game has, then sure, but otherwise they should just focus on what makes this great. Like it has an 80 on Open Critic because of the sandbox.
But like, do you like literally a fixed main storyline that like you don't have any freedom in it, or is it like you just want a main goal?
I mean, this story is also fixed. Like the semblance of the main story is fixed. The side quests are fixed. I don't really have choices in those.
Yeah, but I
So-
mean, like,
Like I like both fixed stories and open choices stories. And an RPG, some RPGs excel better as a fixed story, and others excel as a bit in between, where you make choices, but the overall destination is still fixed. And you have ones like Baldur's Gate 3 that is just like, well, you roll the dice on what happens.
literally roll the dice.
Well, so like I don't have a preference. I just like, because for me it depends. Witcher 3 is in my top 5 RPGs, but so is Mass Effect, so is Elden Ring, which you could say like for example Elden Ring also doesn't have a main story. It just has something to give it to me, but the way it tells its story is way different. That also still has me intrigued.
So you're not a guy for sandbox games then?
Not a guy for Crimson Desert necessarily.
Okay, so you do have sandbox games that you do like.
Yeah, like Just Cause 3, for example, or Just Cause 2 more precisely. That's a very much sandbox game with barely anything of a story. But it's just like, it just needs to grab me, and like we get introduced, we're fighting, and anytime the action, I'm very much satisfied and I'm enjoying the game, but it's then what I'm gonna do next. That's the part that this game doesn't really have my attention with, where I can easily get bored, or where I'm looking at, I'm like, nah, not really interested in that. I did one side quest, I was already like, was not vibing with what I was supposed to do, but then I did it. It had one cool visual moment, and then I was like, you know what, I'm done for the day. And then other moments I'm like constantly fighting. A knight shows up, like, how dare you? A bigger knight shows up and screams louder, how dare you? And then I'm like, oh yeah, this is nice, let's fight. You know? And that's my appeal for this game, is the combat. I really wished it was an RPG, but seeing as like, even in the build up, they didn't really talk about the story and about the world. I would say, like, story wise, I kind of had a feeling, either they're just trying to hide as much as possible, or like it's not the focus. And when you play it, you realize it's not the focus.
It sounds like you are missing like a specific goal in mind that you know you're going to get value out of.
Yeah, I would say that as well. Which is fine,
okay.
but like, it just means I will not be playing it for like long play sessions.
Okay, but you will finish it.
I do intend to finish it. I don't like I said, it's hovering between a 2 and a 3 out of 5 stars. So like, it's not a one where I feel like I'm not gonna finish it, but I do, because then I can make a review card and share my full thoughts on it, or not really full thoughts, because I don't do that in the review card. I already did it here, but like, if the end game changes up anything, maybe I'll highlight that.
Okay, nice. And I think that's a great moment for us to end this Times podcast. So, for the ones that listened, thank you for listening. For the ones that watch it, thank you for watching.
Thank you.
If you enjoyed it, be sure to hit the thumbs up, subscribe to never miss a new episode, and catch you on the next one.
If you play Crimson Desert, let me know in the comments down below what you thought.
And let us know if you agree with the takes so far presented. And with that,
Yeah.
adieu.
See ya.